All right, having fun talking about the twins. Let's do it some more. So we have this Jupiter-Saturn Great Conjunction, as it's called, in late December of 2020, when Jupiter and Saturn are going to square off in Capricorn, and Capricorn's ruled by Saturn in late December of 2020. These are the twin suns. They're the twins, the real Star Wars. And it says, even in the stars in history, that whenever this kind of alignment takes place, and it started in December of 2017 when Saturn began moving into Capricorn, that great societal resets and government resets and monetary system resets, restructurings take place. And I'm looking at the Dow real time, 3:09 p.m., and the Dow just closed down over 1,000 points. So the last few days alone have kind of signaled that there's probably some change coming. That's what it says in the stars. NASA tells you anyway that 80% of the stars in the system are binary. So this is a twin system, which is a reference to you. It's an old story that's been told 1,000 and bazillion one times. Who knows how many? And in the Bible, it's called Cain and Abel. Um, it's also a reference to your W. You have a twin. Go out in the daylight, you'll see the shadow. Or it's also a reference to your brain, the left and right hemisphere. You got to make them work together. You can either get them to work together, or you can duke it out, and it doesn't seem to be very productive to do the latter. And all this stuff is based off the stars, and the constellation Gemini is known as the twins. But I wanted to pass this along. Astrology, why your zodiac sign and horoscope are wrong. So they're saying that the astrology, the mainstream astrology that's used today, is off by so many degrees because of the Earth's tilt and blah, blah, blah. So someone like myself, who is a Cancer through and through, is really, according to the real astrology, the real stars, a Gemini. And that's the twins. So it's funny because I identify so much with the twins and so much with Cancer that if I had to pick which one I am, I don't know which one I would pick. But I wanted to pass that along to anyone who would be interested. So Egypt talked about the twins. Rome talks about the twins. In Gemini, they're Castor and Pollux. And that's why America is so important. Here is the Capitoline wolf in Rome, Georgia, here in the United States. Let's talk about it real fast. This crazy looking thing, why would this be out there in front of the courthouse? America, North and South, we are the twins. It's why we are going to be the twin sacrifice to the age of Aquarius, which is air. The Capitoline wolf, a bronze sculpture of the mythical she-wolf suckling the twins, this time called Romulus and Remus, from the legend of the founding of Rome. And even on this thing it says a gift from old Rome to new Rome, because America is a spin-off Rome, and Rome is a spin-off Egypt, and Egypt's a spin-off of Atlantis, and Atlantis is a spin-off of Lemuria, and Lemuria is a spin-off of Cydonia, and we've already been through this a bunch before. So these twins, that's why the Twin Towers, right? And even George W. That's the W, the twin. That's why he was called W, is known as W, and went by W because he was his daddy George's twin. And the Twin Towers we're just saying with what was being said. We're not going to talk about what really happened that day. But they said, right, that the Twin Towers came down by planes hitting them. That's the air. So this place is going to be and is the twin sacrifice to the age of Aquarius, which is air. Here it is in hieroglyphs. The air sign, this is the W, this is a sign of magic. And the Indians, the Native Americans, they all knew this stuff. That's why they were genocided, or they were turned into alcoholics. They knew all this. So I think that's really, in the United States, supposedly the first country, again, we're not going to argue about what's really happened, but the first country to go to the moon, the first flight ever, Kitty Hawk, United States. It's all right there for us all to see and understand and learn. And I don't know, the stuff of the stock market, man, there's some big changes coming. And it may not be this year, maybe next year, because if history is any kind of guide, like I was showing in the last video, the same thing happened in 2007. They held it together with more lies and corruption for about a year, and what did they say, some change, and then it came crashing down. But I tell you what, this is all shaping up to to be what the stars are saying, that we got some major restructuring taking place. What you're having is a disaster in its own making. The stuff is falling apart completely on time like it's supposed to. This tax reform bill was bullshit. This budget is bullshit. You're running up deficits and you're taking money out of the system. And look, I'm not I hated Obamacare. But what I'm just saying is that was designed to be repealed and taken out all on purpose because that thing generated a whole that mandatory penalty mandate was a big moneymaker for the government. So these tax reforms and these budgets are QE because this tax reform itself, $1 trillion now is going to be thrown, is going to be printed, issued, whatever. That means you're losing a shit. That's inflation. You're going to lose a shit ton of your purchasing power. So while your check may look bigger, your bigger checks aren't going to amount to much. Just like in the Weimar Republic, right? You had a wheelbarrow full of cash. Looks like you had a hell of a lot of money, but you're going to go buy an apple with a wheelbarrow full of cash. So the same thing's happening. And now the government, and you hear this, Trump economy, and the economy's roaring back, unemployment lines it's shorter than they've ever been, and hundreds of thousands of jobs. This is supposed to happen because that's why they inflated the market and they threw all the stimulus and QE into the market, is because the economy sucks. Well, now the economy is, quote, roaring back to life. So now the central bank's got to take that drug. They got to take them drugs away from the drug addicts and say, you guys are doing okay on your own now. You don't need our drugs anymore. And as you can see how the market's reacting, not so good, which is what we've been, I said that about at least in August or September when I brought up the Jack Ryan movie, because this is all in there. So that's why the markets are freaking out. And so now they got to figure out what they're going to do to hold it together until it's time to really drop it. It's pretty effing brilliant to see. This is a really fascinating time to be alive. And here's the thing, there isn't a broker or an investor, decades ago, same with Bitcoin, and I'm not ripping on Bitcoin, man. A lot of people made a lot of money, good for you. And it's no more mark of the beast than the credit card debt is, or the credit card, or you using the computers or anything like that at all. It's no dabbling in the mark of the beast, and everything is antichrist here. Everything is mark of the beast. I'm hoping, but who knows what's going to happen with that? But but that's the thing, is whether it be the stock market or Bitcoin, if you're doing it, good for you. I'm not knocking anyone who's done it. Okay, let's make that clear. I'm not pounding on anybody who's playing with tails from the cryptos. I'm just telling you. What I'm saying is that no investor, no broker decades ago, including the stock market or Bitcoin, would tell you to ever, ever, ever throw your money, invest in anything so volatile. Like, this is insanity. But sure is a hell of a lot of fun to watch. And Bitcoin was something, man. And it was tough for me to stay out of. I ain't gonna lie. Like, woo. It's like, God, $3,000 all the way up to 18 in like a matter of weeks. It's like, dang, that's knuckin' futz. But I can't hold on to it. There's nothing tangible there. There's nothing tangible about it. I don't know. I can't hold on to that. I can't invest it like I can, and like I can't hold it. I don't like that. And also bit, and that makes me think of like a comedy routine. That's what comedy routines are called, bits. It makes me think it's all one big joke. I don't know, but boy, it's making a lot of money. I don't know. That was fun. It's a fun tug of war. I'm happy with the choice I made, and we'll see what happens from here. But yeah, twins, man, North and South America. Big sacrifice at the age of Aquarius, which is air. And that's just one more thing I wanted to mention. That's why I wanted to also pass this along and to show you, is that's why I've seen like the zodiac be referenced as a 24,000 year cycle. Some say 25,000 years and some change. Some say 26,000 and some change. You're going off the same map, but you've got a whole bunch of different legends telling you what things mean. So that's why everything's kind of up in the air. No one really knows the exact years and all this kind of stuff, because you're going off a bunch of different legends on the same map. So some say 24,000, some say 26,000, some say 25,000. This whole, thing takes to complete. But yeah, link will be below to this if you want to check out what your quote unquote real sign supposedly is. And I think that's all I got to say for now. All right. Thank you to my subscribers out there. Thanks to everybody else for clicking and watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Oh, and one last thing, promise. Like with this symbol here, the W, number 23, 23rd letter in the alphabet. It's also the two pillars, because the top of one pillar is the number 2, and on the top of the other one is the number 3. You got Saturn and Jupiter at the top of one, and then Jupiter at the top of the other. So it's a reference to duality. I wanted to talk about duality as well, besides us being an air sign and That's why, you know, the 666 symbol, that's just to show you all the different layers there are to this. That's like an onion with a bunch of different layers. So it's never one thing. You got all many different dimensionality stuff going on here. But with duality that we're stuck in, it's not that duality is so bad, it's the duality that we are trapped in is the crap one, because this is like a rigged duality. You're presented with two choices, but they're really the same choice. So it's not really duality per se, because you got one door leading out and you have another door leading in, but the door out is blocked. So it's like Republican and Democrat, right? Yeah, it's different, but it's really the same choice. We're presented with two choices, but they're really the same shit choice. So it's not that duality per se is so bad, it's just the one that's rigged that we're in now is the so that's the twin pillars as in the masonry with another telling of the twins and all this what have you. Okay, that's it.